And we are back. And as I'm recording this, I have some 6 hours before I need to upload the next part because I'm run out of my backlog. And my body is kind of fighting against succumbing to the flu, so my voice might be different than normal. On top of that, I'm way out of practice actually recording and commentating on it as I go. Right, so previously we found the elusive glade, we discovered the shop that sold elven items, but nothing that we really bought from it. And I think it was right at the very end that we checked on our skill levels and discovered that 2 of our casters had like 2 adjectives better casting skill than the other ones. And that's really interesting. So Bella and Sovil are the better casters. Right. So this is where the town was. I think I want to look for a dungeon that is nearby. I know that the orcs are to the northeast. I think. They probably are. So that might be something that we want to go for, because I think we got a quest for killing the orc chieftain. So I might as well try. And it's still to our north. And we should be finding a dungeon soon. And just this button, okay. I'm now starting to remember. Key presses again. Pirangi. I think that was a 2-handed sword. I might be wrong. So they have one caster, and you have a boar spear that's not actually an orcish one, which is quite interesting. I don't think it says if the actually it might say, because it says on my guys if they have magical pluses, the weapons. Right. So I'm not terribly afraid of orcs, but my haste seems to have worn off. And their caster created a stinking cloud, poisoning 2 of our guys. And you are the priest, so you'll cast for a mass armor. And you will cast for mass haste. And you will start curing the poisons. And you'll try to cast mass strength even though you'll fail. You actually have a pretty decent weapon skill these days, so let's start aiming with you. So that you'll get a damage multiplier to your attack. And they do have elemental weapons, so maybe now I get to start blasting with my guy. Cause, well, you're the better caster, so maybe you'll manage to land a little boulder. Which you in fact did, so this should kill the Orc Wizard from full. Yeah. Because it deals good amount of damage. And you'll try to sleep this guy here who's stuck, but you can't even aim. Right, the mole guy will go and clobber that guy, and almost taking it out. And you're meant to aim at vital organs. Because that's pretty much the only way you'll deal any damage with your rapier. I'm actually a bit terrified to be casting Boulder with my mage, because if it fumbles the casting and targets himself with the spell, he'll die. And that would mean restoring the game. But I guess it would make good 15-second rage content in the video. You'll probably willing to bear one restore game just to see it happen. No! The orc got away from his stony prison. Do we have any places where I can land the ball to hit multiple targets? I guess this is the best place. No, wait, let's cast it here instead. And that guy bled out, or rather became unconscious through the bleeding damage. So I guess we'll maneuver here and hit this weakened guy. We'll keep hitting the unconscious orcs to increase our skills. And it looks like that guy is trying to flee. And we won't let him. I should probably try and cast the quickness on my better mage in each combat, because if it gets successful cast even once, it will be a huge increase of skill gains for that person. And it was in fact a normal boar spear. And the Firangi was one-handed sword. But it's worth something, so let's loot it. And the spellbook seems to be worth something as well, so let's take it. Also, the skull is pretty worthless, as is the boar spears and heavy letters. Because, let's be honest, if I were to pick them up, I'd be looting them, or rather dropping them later for better loot that I'll hopefully get from this dungeon. And do we need to recast any of the flaming weapons? We need to cast 2. So let's enter this place here. And he's too stupid to go around the campfire. There probably aren't any casters in that group. Because that would be silly, right? To have casters in the... well, basically the doormen. And I think the fight might go faster if I meet them in this open space rather than retreating to the corridor. Oh, they have orcs. And they're all warriors. And you have a brass broadsword, which is... oh, fine arbalest. Damn. The dogs might actually deal some damage here. The arbalest guy should be shooting soon. And good going there. The wizard blocked it with a shield with 0 shield skill, so to speak. I'm proud of you. And we'll want to take care of the crossbow guy as soon as possible. But his saving throws seem to be very good against my sleep bolt, which I don't think has so far in this gameplay series ever actually worked. But let's actually try and charm one of the dogs to see their stats. Let's pick you. 102 strength, 100 hit points. Oh, I guess they're fairly tough. Fairly tough. But they've yet to injure any of my guys, so I don't really know what their damage potential is. But they seem to soak some damage when I try and hit them instead. It might be because they could be resistant to fire damage, which my magical weapons are dealing. Okay, so they definitely deal some damage. And you'll go for wild killing attacks. Because we cannot trust you in being able to actually land hits properly. Yeah, stunned and KO'd. That's more like it. And there's a group, so we'll blast them with an AoE spell. you'll cast major heal on our single guy. As for you, you'll probably not do much. Well, mass wound seems to work. And you'll also try and go for the AoE. Damn, they hit hard. So nothing really good on these guys. I don't think the Arbalest will be worth using either. Because I think I have a +2 Arbalest here, so I guess it's just something that we'll be selling when we get back to the town. And I need two more elemental weapons to be cast on my guys. And actually take a look at the hint book to see if the Vogs actually resisted some element. Because they might be capable of that. And they do not. Or do they? No, they don't. They just have 3 points of armor according to this hint book, which doesn't really explain why they didn't take that much damage from my melee hits. Unless the blood spatter is relative to their current hit point pool. And this seems to be some sort of a bedroom.